Hi grade 12s, video number 4 tutorial. I did promise you in the previous video that I would send you the memo for the if statements, a little thing to practice. There it is. There you could just freeze this, go back when you have a moment, go back and have a look at them. I'm not going to take you through it. I've done the little memo for you, and I've done a summary of this one because this one is a nice example of a typical one to expect in an exam. So go through each one and make sure that you comprehend. You can pause and have a look and compare it with your ones. Right, today we're going to do access, some of your not so favorites, but let's look at access. We've done, by now you should have done all revisions on creating queries and reports and groupings and calculations and all that kind of stuff. But today we're going to do something that is quite useful in access, and that is creating a temporary, as I say temporary, it appears in the query only. You've got a query now, this query that I'm looking at. It's in module 5.2. This one's called School Shop. And in our School Shop, we have a description. We've got water sets and stencils and coffee mugs and pens and pencils and all those nice things. We've got an amount in stock. We've got a cost price and we've got a selling price. Now, you don't need to be a business student to understand the difference between cost price and selling price, how to work out profit. If something costs you 14 bucks and you sell it for 17.50, you know that you are making 3.50 per item. Okay. You sell a stencil for 10 Rand, you paid 8 Rand for it, it's there for 2 Rand. Come on guys, if I have to do this with you, then I'd be extremely worried, so I'm not going to do this with you, or the explanation of profit. So we've got a query now. We want to send this query to a report, we want to print it, we want to do certain stuff, but we're missing the profit on here. There's no profit on here. Now we don't have to go back to the table and go and make stuff in the table and blah, blah, blah. We are now going to do a calculation in a query that's going to calculate our selling price minus our cost price and give us a profit. Obviously not cost price minus selling price, guys, otherwise you're making a loss. So we're going to look at what is our individual profit per, let's say for watercolor set. If we sell it for 17.50, we paid 14 Rand, we know it's going to be 3.50. Then we're going to do a follow-up calculation that says, okay, 3.50, but we've got 15 of them, what's our total profit for watercolor sets? So individual and total. Now, it sounds complicated. All we're going to be doing is adding a calculated field. Now, what is a calculated field? So obviously, we're going to go over to this view, which is our data capture view. We're going to be able to work in here. I've got a query that's got the description and in stock, cost price, and selling price. In here, in the very, very first available blank field, I'm going to make a new field that's called profit per item. Profit per item. And then here, I'm going to make another one called total profit. Remember what I said? I'm going to go back. Profit per item is going to be that minus that. Selling price minus cost price. Guys, this is not Excel. Remember, we don't have A1 minus B1 or ABCD1 minus C1. We don't have that. We have to make calculated fields that's going to say selling price minus cost price. Selling price minus cost price instead of D1 minus C1. Do you understand that concept? I'm sure you do. So if I go, the first calculated field is going to be called, we can call it anything we like, but let's call it profit per item. It's going to be that minus that. And the second one we're going to do is work out, we're going to take our profit per item and multiply it by how many we've got in stock to tell us 15 multiplied by whatever our profit is to give us the total profit for that item or that line. So without further ado, the first thing to remember is when you are doing calculated fields, remember when we do calculated fields in reports and in reports, and you want to do you want to work out an average, or you want to work out a that minus that or this times that, you have to put your field names in square brackets. See, I'm doing it again. Square brackets. Your field name goes in a square bracket. Exactly the same applies here. You'll put a field name in a square bracket, so it will be selling price minus cost price. Let me ask you, if you said selling price minus cost price in one square bracket, why wouldn't it work? Okay, think about it for a second. Why wouldn't it work? You know, what's the answer going to be? You can't, selling price minus cost price, there's no such field name. The field name is selling price. The next field name is cost price. So you've got to put selling price in its own square bracket and cost price in its own square bracket and separate them with a minus sign, so the one minus the other. All right, enough talk, let's do. I'm not going to put a name there yet. I'm just going to say, right, open square bracket, and I'm going to say selling price. It is not case sensitive, but it is space sensitive. I can't say selling price minus cost price. I must first, that's a field name. Field name 1, selling price, minus, open bracket. Field name 2, cost price. If you make a spelling mistake here, it's not going to work. If you put a space between cost and price, it's not going to work. It doesn't care about the case though, like selling price minus cost price. If I press enter, it's going to say expression 1. Expression 1, if I run it now, it's going to say there, oh good, look what happened. I made a spelling mistake. Okay, I could say to you I did that on purpose, but I didn't. There we go. It's not. I can hear some of you at the background shouting, "Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am, you made a spelling mistake." Selling price minus cost price. There we go. Selling price minus cost price. Now 1750 minus 1450 is 350. That says expression 1. So all I'm going to do is, instead of saying expression 1, I'm going to highlight the word expression 1, and I'm going to say, take it out and say this is called profit. Can I spell? Profit per item. And if I run it now, the new name here will be profit per item 350. So really no rocket science there. Is creating a brand new field in this query. This is not going to appear on the table. This query here is not going to be on your table. It's only going to appear in the query because it's just a temporary field that you're adding because you want to put it into a report or whatever you want to do with it. Now let's do the second part. I have now got a profit price, profit per item. So 3 Rand 50 per watercolor set, 2 Rand per stencil set, 1 Rand 23 per masking tape. But I want to know for 15 watercolor sets here, how much profit am I making? For 13 stencils, how much profit am I making? So I'm going to multiply in stock by my profit per item field. Now that profit per item field I made, but it's still part of the query, so I can use it. 15 times 3 Rand 50. Okay, let's do it. We're going to say in stock, remember, open, in stock. This time I'll make sure I don't make any spelling mistakes. Multiplied, you know what the multiply sign is, by profit per item. Already, profit per, per item. Profit per item. Close my bracket. Hopefully it's not going to swear at me. Let's go and have a look. Yay. Expression 1. What do I do with expression 1? I go and I say, let's call it total profit. Total profit. I'm just putting it in big letters for you. Big letters, capital letters. Run it. Total profit, 52 Rand 50 for 15 of those. Let's have a look here. 68 Rand 40 for 36 pairs of scissors. Can't say scissors, pair of scissors, okay? There's my total profit. So really, this is what you're doing with this, is you are just taking a query that didn't have that and didn't have that, a boring old query that just had in stock, cost price, selling price. We've worked out our profit per item and our total profit. Let me just run you through that again. I'm going to stop here because I'm going to make a new video, because a second video on working with calculations, working with dates, because it becomes a little bit more complicated now when you start minusing one date from the other and you want it to be in days and blah, blah, blah. So, but you understand this concept. The dates are going to be exactly the same concept, just the way you do the function is going to be a little bit different. So using calculated fields in queries, this is what you do. You go and you see what you want to, what do you want? You want a profit per item, you want a total profit. So you go in the very first blank field in the query in design view, you go and put your, we said cost price, we said selling price minus cost price. I'll actually open it up for you that you can see what it looks like. There we go. Remember, you can't say selling price minus cost price without putting them in separate brackets, because that's a one field name, second field name. And then our total profit, we took our brand new field that we'd made, our profit per item, and we said, right, in stock times profit per item gives us the in stock multiplied by that. One last thing before I go. If you had to format this, field, where's my property sheet? If you had to format that field, if this, for example, let me just rephrase that. Sorry, ignore what I've just said. If this wasn't in currency, if this didn't appear in currency, if this said 52.5693 million, okay, you don't have, it doesn't have a format. All you would do here is you would go and open your property sheet and you would format your currency to how many decimal places you want. I'm not going to do it. I'm just showing you that if they asked you to show them, to give them a decimal places and a different format, you would just make sure that you are in that field. You would call up your property sheet and you will go and do it here. All right, that's it for now. What I'm going to do is I'll do a follow-up video to this one, also calculated fields in queries using dates. But I do strongly urge you to please, if you are watching this video and you've just browsed through it, make sure that you understand this 100%, okay, that you've got this concept fully of how to do calculated fields in queries before you go and attempt the one with the dates, because there are a few twists there, but then again, you knew that was coming. That's how we roll. Have a good day, and please work hard, stay safe, stay home.